Welcome back. Here we go. We got video number 2 here. We got Davante Adams. Breakout season last year, a year later than what most Packers fans were anticipating, especially after being named offseason MVP in his second season. Davante did not have a good year in his second year. Seemed to drop just about every pass thrown his way, struggled through an ankle injury throughout the year, but really rebounded big in his third year as a Packers wide receiver here, and I'm going to show you a few reasons why here. So here's a game against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a Monday Night Football game, the first of the Packers, quote, run-the-table run from Aaron Rodgers. His proclaim that he thought the Packers could win the remainder of their game. So this is the first drive of the game, and Adams is right here at the top of the screen, and he's going to be matched up one-on-one here because the Packers are going to bring Jordy Nelson here in motion after they set up here in trips. So once they bring Nelson across the formation here, it's going to set up a one-on-one opportunity for Adams because the Eagles have a single high safety here in the red zone. And Aaron Rodgers likes to go to Jordy Nelson here in the red zone usually. So the safety for the Eagles keeps his eyes peeked over toward Nelson for the majority of the time. But Adams, off the snap, is very good off the line of scrimmage, gets a good depth in his route. One subtle move and he's gone. He's got the corner's hips turned immediately, off to the races, and into the end zone. So let's go back and look at that again. As soon as he gets his hips turned, watch right here, right there. He's got him beat because he's got his hips to the outside there. The receiver has got the corner beat. Adams hasn't beat because the corner cannot recover. Adams runs the slant as well as any receiver in this league when he does it right. It's a wide throwing window for Aaron Rodgers. The safety can't get there in time. Easy touchdown for Rodgers in the pack to start off this game. Cobb clears the throwing lane. Simple stuff. Pitch and catch. Easy touchdown for Aaron Rodgers. That's explosion. That's depth off the line of scrimmage. That's ability to twist and turn on a dime that Adams didn't have the previous season. And that stuff, easy points that the Packers couldn't find early in the year. But Adams, big start and an easy way for the Packers to get points early in the game. Same game, second quarter here. Davante Adams will be right here at the top of your screen. The Packers are driving here in the red zone again, where the Eagles, again, they're playing a single high safety. The Packers are in their 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 running back. The Packers, they went to this formation almost exclusively in 2015. They've gone to it a lot over the last couple of years. It requires the receivers to win their one-on-ones. Adams has to win his one-on-one here because he's going to make the safety pick one side or the other. You'll watch Rodgers here. He's going to try and look off this safety one side or the other, and eventually you're going to get an incredible play here by Adams. So Rodgers takes the snap. He looks over. He looks off the safety to Jordy Nelson over to this side. You watch his eyes right here. He's looking for Nelson actually over here. That draws the safety to this side. Rodgers is actually late with this ball over to Adams on the top of the screen here. So Rodgers comes back. Adams is open. He's open right here. He just got to lead him to the pylon. Rodgers throws the ball. Adams got another stop. The safety can't get over there in time. The corner's there. It's a little underthrown. Adams makes a catch in an impossible window. I still have no idea how he caught that ball. That was an issue of Adams making catches that he struggled to make easy catches. He struggled to make hard catches. This catch was certainly not easy, and he made a hell of a play here just to give the Packers another touchdown. This was a great play by Davante Adams, and he beats the corner off the line of scrimmage, just like he did so many times throughout the season, to give the Packers, again, a 14-point advantage early in the game with a defense that struggled really throughout the year. That's a big deal. Davante Adams making catches with his hands, and even on an underthrown. Aaron Rodgers is great. That's an underthrown ball. Davante Adams helping out his quarterback. Something else that plagued Davante Adams throughout his sophomore season that resulted in his disappointing year that caused some to claim for Jeff Janis. That's right, Jeff Janis to overtake Adams. Not even that. Some even called for Davante Adams to be cut. This is why fans aren't general managers. Let me just point that out right now. Was the fact that he was never on the same page as Aaron Rodgers. There would be throws that Rodgers would throw a zig and Adams would be zagging, or Rodgers would be throwing a zag and Adams would be zigging. That's something that Rodgers and Adams worked on throughout the offseason, because Adams has to be, if you're going to play in the Packers offense, you have to be on the same page, and Rodgers has to trust you. So here's an example again. The Packers are in their 11 personnel again here against the Minnesota Vikings. Jordy Nelson's at the top of the screen. They've got Geronimo Allison in the slot. Jared Cook is here in the middle of the screen. And you've got Ty Montgomery in the backfield with Davante Adams one-on-one with Trey Waynes here at the bottom of the screen. The Vikings and the Packers are playing in a showdown here. The Packers have won 4 consecutive games out of 6 in a row that they would win to close out the season. This is a big divisional showdown. The Vikings, Mike Zimmer, the narrative is that he gives Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense fits. The Packers went up and down the field to score a touchdown on one of their early possessions, and they're looking to add another one here early in the game. And you've got Adams here on the bottom of the screen matched up one-on-one. Waynes comes up to challenge Adams at the top of the screen. The safeties play a couple of games to get into Rodgers' head here. Rodgers takes the snap. Adams gets a little bit of a stutter step here at the bottom of the screen to get down the field. They're matched up one-on-one. Rodgers looks Adams' direction. It looks like he's covered at the initial break right here. But one thing that the Packers have made a killing on since Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy got together is the back shoulder fade. And they really learned this from Plexico Burress in the 2007 NFC Championship game. Sorry, Packers fans, I'm sure you remember that. Plexico Burress caught plenty of passes when he was covered because Eli Manning would throw it to his back shoulder. This is another play here. If you're going to play in the Packers offense, you got to be ready to read the same coverage and catch the back shoulder fade. Adams didn't do a good job of that his sophomore season. He's going to get an opportunity here to catch a back shoulder fade because the coverage dictates it. Trey Waynes is shadowing his front shoulder right here. He has Adams covered if Rodgers throws the route to his front shoulder. Or if he tries to throw it over the top, Waynes has a chance to make an interception. Instead, Rodgers throws the ball to his back shoulder. Adams is wide open off that back shoulder. Maybe a bit of a push-off, just like Jordan in Game 6. There's no call. If they don't call it, it's not a push-off. Adams is wide open, catches the ball, easy touchdown, easy money. Green Bay Packers knock off the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Adams and Rodgers are on the same page. If you're on the same page as your quarterback, he gives you love. You get love, you get in the end zone. Davante Adams got plenty of love to get in the end zone on this play. All right, let's take a look at something here that Davante was really improved on in 2016. He was able to do it coming out of college with Derek Carr at Fresno State. He caught a high volume of passes. He was good at catching the ball and making plays after the catch. That's something that disappeared from his game in 2015. He had an ankle injury. He battled through that for a lot of the years, or through a lot of that season. And then in 2016, that's something that returned. Here's a good example of Davante Adams making plays after the catch. So, Aaron Rodgers is going to get the snap here and try to buy time out to his right. He gets the ball to Adams. Adams makes the catch. Makes one man miss. Runs through a couple arm tackles. And then runs through plays and tacklers here. These are plays where, at the beginning of 2015, these are plays where Adams, whenever he caught the ball, he was immediately down. So if it was a 4-yard pass, it became a 4-yard gain. If it was a 6-yard pass, it was a 6-yard gain. If it was a smoke screen, it was a 1-yard gain. Adams was caught, wherever he caught the ball, that's where he was tackled. This play is an example of him getting that strength and confidence back in that ankle and able to run through would-be tacklers and make big plays down the field for the Packers. Because let's be honest, no matter how good Davante Adams ever becomes, he's never going to be a deep threat, speed threat. He's going to catch the ball in the short and intermediate areas like he did on this play. He has to make plays after the catch to make big plays for the Packers. So that's going to do it for this session of Davante Adams. Do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button there on the bottom right for Pulse of the Pack. If you want to see more videos like this one, I got more coming for you here. Check out the Dean Lowry video that's also on this page and on all the others that are coming along the way. All right, we got the good. Now here's some of the bad. This is from the 2015 season, which was Davante's sophomore slump, if you will. Here's an example of not being on the same page as Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is going to take the snap here. He's going to play fake to Eddie Lacy, and he's going to look to Davante Adams right at the top of the screen. He's throwing an out route. Pretty clear that Rodgers is throwing an out. Davante Adams turns the wrong way. The ball's incomplete because of Adams turning the wrong way. Very simple stuff there, very subtle. But turning the wrong way on the route results in an incomplete pass. Instead of an early gain and a first down. Now the Packers have a 2nd and long because Adams isn't on the same page as his quarterback. And that's something that plagued him throughout the season. Adams wasn't on the same page as his quarterback, and Rodgers is very particular about his receivers being on the same page and studying, and that's something that was discussed over and over and over again throughout the season. Small stuff here, but it leads to even bigger things down the road. And right here we have the play that changes Davante Adams' entire season. Adams is at the top of the screen. Rodgers is going to run a hard count here, but it's the play that Davante Adams injures his ankle and he loses his explosion. He's already playing in this game with a slightly sprained ankle, but you're going to see very quickly here at the top of the route just the way he goes up for the ball and there's just nothing there. He goes up. Let's go back a little bit here. You can see here as he goes for this ball, Adams is a good leaper. He's a former basketball player. When he goes for this pass, there's just nothing there for him to leap for this ball. He goes up. This is a catchable ball for Davante Adams. He's open, able to make a big play on this, and he's not even 2 inches off the ground. The ball goes through his hands because Adams just can't leap. He goes down to the ground. He holds his ankle. That play changes Adams' entire season in 2015 because he was just never the same after that. An ankle sprain, he played injured the rest of the year and really struggled for the rest of that season. All right, we're back to 2016 here, and this is the Packers and the Seahawks. It's a big game every year, ever since, well, really the Hail Mary, but the NFC Championship game, you name it, the Packers and the Seahawks, they don't like each other, and it's been pretty obvious for quite some time. But this is a play again, Davante Adams. He's going to make a play here. Rodgers is going to roll to his right. He's got Adams open. Rodgers makes a beautiful throw. Adams catches it in stride and walks in for a touchdown, but that's not why I threw it. It's boop, right there. Throws the ball off of the face of a defensive back. Let's see if we can get it from behind here. Really, it's a wonderful throw here from Rodgers. Rodgers out to his right. Throws it down the field. Adams, wonderful over-the-shoulder catch. Gets the ball into the end zone and throws it off the face of the Seahawks safety, Earl Thomas's replacement. And that's really just to show you that Davante Adams, by this point in the year, was really feeling himself. But the next play in this game is what I really love about Davante Adams by this point of 2016. But it is nice to see that Adams was really loving himself by this point of the year, enough to throw the ball off of a Seahawks defender. Packers don't like the Seahawks. Adams don't like his defense. And he was ready by this point in the game because this was a big game for the Packers. He started him off right, and he's throwing the ball off defenders' faces. But later in the game, he's going to ragdoll somebody. All right, here we have it late in the game. The Packers are trying to run the ball and ice out the clock here. Earlier in the game, Richard Sherman took kind of what is a cheap shot on Randall Cobb away from the play. And the Packers said after the game as much that the Seahawks are kind of the king of that. So this is a play where Davante Adams breaks out what Vach Lombardi would call his inner ass whoop. Me as an offensive lineman, I used to call it get your ass on the ground. And you can see right here as we start here, it's a Jeff Janis reverse. So Jeff Janis is going to be right here. He's going to get the ball around the corner, and Richard Sherman is going to be Davante Adams' prey right here. And in Green Bay, if you're going to be a receiver, you better be able to block. So they get the fake here. Adams is running a route. He's slow playing it. Janis gets the ball on the reverse. Sherman helps by slipping a little bit, but Adams sees his opportunity, and he throws him on the ground. And unlike a pretty boy receiver, he could have just stayed there. Instead of staying there and doing nothing and running and probably just kind of escorting Janis to the end zone, he has an opportunity here to bury Richard Sherman. Sherman tries to get back up. To his credit, Adams is like, nope. Keeps him out of the play. Janis walks into the end zone. You got to block. You want to play receiver in Green Bay. Davante Adams pancakes Richard Sherman on this play. Runs right through him. Davante Adams did it all for the Packers on the receiving corps. Still has some struggles. Still has a lot to learn. But the Packers have a lot to be excited about for this young man in the 2017 season.